All right, ready?
I'm ready.
Cool. Hey there, Tutu fam. John Lorenzo here. I'm the owner here at Tutu Creative. Today, I have my good friend, Rachel Schonewolf. She is the co-owner of Wolf Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Rachel, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Absolutely awesome. Went to the Phillies game last night. I don't think we won. I didn't even make it to the end, but it was a great time. Um, so, Rachel, I'm super excited to have you on here today because you launched your startup right before COVID. And, this is just going to be a really inspiring story for our viewers that, again, it's another story of it's never going to be the perfect time, but you just got to go do it. So I'm super excited. Before we get started, how can people connect with you? What's the best way for them to connect with you?
I would say Instagram. We're very active on Instagram. Our handle is Team Wolf BJJ. Very easy to find. I'm always answering. We've had a lot of people sign up through there, so that's probably the easiest way to connect with me.
Awesome. And then where is your studio?
It's in Sicklerville, right on Sicklerville Road in Strawberry Square Plaza, right next to Canals.
Awesome. And we're going to put all of that information in the caption below. So let's get this show on the road. Rachel, tell us your startup story.
So I am co-owner of Wolf Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Me and my boyfriend Shane Stride started it back in September of 2019. We actually owned a landscaping company, which we grew solely to sell to start a martial arts studio. So we were able to sell off half of that company back in March or April of 19. And then we signed the lease April of 19, and we weren't allowed to open until about September. And that was it. We came out swinging, went real strong with it. We had about 3 students a good month or two. And then we started growing. I figured out the marketing and what people wanted and what people wanted to see, how to get some people in the door. And we went in hard, and then we had to taper back because of COVID. So
yeah. All right. The way that I see it is you guys really doubled down during COVID and built a family out. And now we're still in COVID, but from where you guys were pre-COVID to where you guys are now, you guys are more than double what you guys were, right?
Definitely, yeah. So we actually had to get creative during COVID. Obviously, we weren't allowed to have our doors open and allow people to train. So what we actually did was we built a private Instagram group, and it was only open to our customers. So anybody who wanted to follow and continue to pay their monthly payment did, and they got daily workouts, daily jiu-jitsu instructionals, just daily motivation from me and Shane. We would go in and film content, weekly. And that was their consent to continue to pay. Everybody else, people were losing their jobs and stuff. So we couldn't, personally, we did not feel like we could continue to charge anybody who was just in. So, but we did. We tried to sell some shirts. We were trying to continue to market and say we're coming back. We didn't let it take us under. So luckily we stuck with it. We weathered the storm, and now like you said, we double, maybe tripled the amount of people we have in the culture.
That is awesome. And it's because you guys were also able to pivot. You guys found a way to provide your services for your clients no matter what. And that takes a lot of creativity and a lot of guts to do that during a pandemic when people have no idea. It was only supposed to be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But here we are more than 12 months later, and we're still trying to pivot and still trying to navigate our way through this.
Yeah.
So kudos to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was scary. We would go live and do question and answers with our students and stuff. And we had a lot of very dedicated people who continued with us and are still students of ours. So we thank them. Without our students, we wouldn't be able to have our doors open still.
Yeah.
So,
what would you guys say is your superpower at Wolf?
I would say our grit. I've said this in the harvest thing that I am in with you in the program, but grit, me and Shane both obtain that, and nothing really gets us down. Nothing can get in our way. If one of us is having a bad day, the other steps right up and we pick each other up. So we're best friends, we're business partners, and with Wolf, we've created that culture as well. So I think we've been giving that to our students. Nothing gets in the way.
And as an entrepreneur, you need that grit. If you don't have that grit, Oh man, I don't know if it's going to be for you being an entrepreneur, because there's going to be times where you're going to get hit in the face and you got to get right back up, right?
Yeah, yeah, you got to dig deep. That's all. That's all it really is digging deep and believing in yourself. So that's what got us through.
Absolutely. So what is the why behind Wolf Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? What gets you guys up and fired up to do this every single day?
Shane and I both, we developed ourselves differently throughout martial arts and jujitsu in particular. Jujitsu is about problem solving, getting knocked down day in, day out, and continuing to come back and just get better at it, right? You're always trying to do better. Even if you're a black belt, there's still room to grow.
Totally.
So with Shane, we have our whole story up on our website if anybody wants to read it, but we both had our own struggles as to why we searched and went to jiu-jitsu to do. So we want to give that back to people. You come across so many different people day in, day out. You have doctors, you have people who, are coming out of terrible times in their lives. We have losses, you have celebrations. We do it all together. And we're all able to come in for an hour, 2 hours of the night, put all of our stuff aside. We leave it at the door. We train. It's our therapy. It's physical.
Yeah.
It's like a family. So us being able to provide that to a
Yeah.
totally different group of people, I think that's why we do it.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, people do need that. And it's really cool that, jujitsu was able to give you guys so much. And now you're paying it forward to the other people who may need it as well. And didn't even think that jujitsu could do this for them and be that therapy for them. But it's true. I remember as a kid, I did karate and a little bit of jujitsu, and it was a really nice break from just everything.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, we have kids that come in who are bullied. We have, women who come in and tell us about their assault stories. We have men who come in and are just, fearful for their family. We have police officers. We have anybody you could think of who come in. Everybody's reason is different.
yeah,
Everybody's why is different why they're
yeah,
there. But us being able to give them the safe space to learn how to defend themselves, to learn how to, be better and want to compete. We have MMA fighters. We have all different walks. So
yeah.
that's our reason why. And we agreed that we would never do it for the money. It's just
Mhm.
strictly for that. So we just wanted to give that back.
That's awesome. You guys empower the community and give them the confidence that they can take on anything. So, Rachel, thank you so much for taking the time today to share your startup story. This episode or this series is all about inspiring our viewers and our clients go and launch their startups by telling the story of our clients. So, thank you so much for taking the time. But before we close out today, what is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody thinking about launching their own startup?
I would say just go for it, do it. We all have dreams and aspirations, and the longer you think about it and think of the bad things that can happen, the less likely you are to do it. I've thought about having this for years and it just took the plunge. Once I took that plunge, everything else was behind me. I went for it and I'm continuing to go for it. We're trying to build, and now we have a bigger location that we're going to go to hopefully in the new year. So it's taking that plunge, taking the risk, because there's always a reward.
There's always a reward, and you never know what's going to happen, right? But you
Yeah.
also don't know unless you go and try.
Right.
It
Yeah.
could be a huge success, it could be a flop, but if you come into it with a mindset that I'm never going to look at failure as failure, it's a teaching moment, right? It's an opportunity for you to get better and to learn what worked, what didn't work. Um,
Absolutely. You
so
you learn every time you're doing something with it, whether it's marketing, shirts, whatever. I've failed with a lot of things, but you always see that positive outcome within the failures.
That's awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us today. This is going to be a really great episode. Can't wait for everybody to tune into this one, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you.